The Retrieve, Extract, and Profit operation, also known as REPO, is a multiplayer extraction looter game that is known for its physics-based gameplay. Combine this with the goofy monsters, and this game took the world by storm when it released and is currently overwhelmingly positive on Steam. In this game, there are a variety of things you can do to give yourself an advantage when playing. The main one is a cart that you can use to lug around a bunch of items instead of taking things one at a time. Another big thing is player upgrades, and these will upgrade your base stats such as stamina, sprint speed, and health. So what if we decided to play this multiplayer game solo and say to hell with all of those advantages? Today I will be trying to play through the first 5 levels of REPO solo while giving myself a few rules. The rules are pretty simple. I can't use the cart and I can't buy upgrades. Those are the main ones. There are a couple others that I also went by, and they are no exploits. The only weapons I can use were mines, I can use drones, and I couldn't take the money bag after an extraction. Honestly, that last one is because I wanted to hate myself just a little bit more. Level 1 of this challenge started off with a doozy. Most of the beginning level was a straight line, and that's not even mentioning the best part. The monsters I got. I got the old man and the child. The old guy is completely blind, but he can hear you, and if he does, he shoots. Needless to say, if I get shot, I will die. The other one's the child. Pretty much if you look at him for long enough, you'll take some damage. Not the worst, but pretty annoying mixed with this old guy. After breaking it down for the child and getting a weird look for it, I found out that the gramophone can randomly turn on. The old man was in the next room whenever it went off and started shooting. So I threw it at him. Thinking it would be okay to take a look, I almost got shot in the face. At this point, this guy decided to hound me and would not leave me alone. He made it unreasonably difficult to get loot back to the extraction. It didn't help that with this mostly straight line of a map, I constantly needed to be around him. Thankfully, luck was on my side because I only needed $8,700 to complete this level. Looking around for a bit more loot, I kissed a frog. Still don't know how I managed that one. Tossing that little one aside, getting the rest of the loot was pretty easy. The child was still upset about my dance move and did scare me a couple of times. At that point, the old man came walking up and I had to hide under a table. I realized I'm just stealing from a man and his son. While trying to get the last piece of loot back to the extraction, the old man kept falling down the stairs just to walk back up them. Honestly, I wanted to see if he would eventually die from this, but I moved on before he did. After making it out of there, we made it to the shop. This is usually where you'll buy items, weapons, and upgrades, but all we're getting this time is an explosive mine and a stun mine. And so, on to level 2. This one honestly was really slow going. The first several rooms had little to no loot in them, so I had to venture pretty far for even the smallest of scrap. It didn't help that I was mainly looking for bigger items at first, and then I would go back and find the smaller stuff. This just made me walk around a lot more than I really needed to. Also, I got bamboozled by a vase taking damage, so I let it go and it broke. Feels bad. Granted, as a solo player without upgrades, those vases are usually a lost cause, but it still hurt to break it. The first monster we have here is a little mouth monster. He's just a little guy. The second monster we have is not a little guy. For some reason, he ran away from me faster than I ran away from him, and he didn't bother me. Odd, but I'll take it. As just a confirmation for nothing showing up behind me, I sat down the stun mine in the doorway. It doesn't do a lot of damage, but I was hoping it would just let me know if the big guy was coming up from behind. Then the little mouth guy triggered it, and it latched onto him. I found out that despite it not doing too much damage, it was actually enough to kill it. That's a free $2,700. Feels good. This is also the first level that has more than one extraction. Basically what that means is I need to fill up the required amount in the first one and then the others will unlock. I can't leave until all extraction points are completed. This is also where the last rule comes to play. When you complete an extraction and it's not the final one, the excess cash will be spit out in a little money bag. You can then take this money bag to the next extraction to give you a bit of a boost. Since I'm not allowing myself to do that because I'm a masochist, I needed to make sure not to overfill this thing and have too much loose excess cash that I can't use. This one only had around $800 extra, so it's nothing to fret about. I quickly find the second extraction and start filling it up with loot. It's nice where this one's located because even after I've exhausted the nearby areas, there's some good value loot just a couple rooms away. The big guy came back around and was just kind of there for a moment before disappearing. For some reason, apart from the first time, even when the sound goes off, he just doesn't pay me any attention. On a couple of my previous attempts, the moment I even got within earshot of this thing, it was coming after me. But right now, it just doesn't care. Finishing off the extraction, all I need to do is get back to the truck and drive away, which is easier said than done. Now that the extraction is so far into the level, I need to traverse the entire thing to get back to my truck. This is while all monsters are roaming around and looking for me. Peeking my head out, I see the little guy is back and the big guy is walking away, so I make a break for it. Surprisingly, this works, and I make it back to the truck without any issues. At this store, I buy the feather drone, which is probably the main reason this challenge is doable. I'll talk more about this in a moment. Starting off level 3, for some reason my luck is insane here and I'm able to fill up the first extraction with the first room. The gods are smiling down upon me and they want me to finish this challenge. And then here's where stuff starts to go awry. First off, we have a new monster, the eye. Basically, it forces you to stare at it until you break line of sight for a little while, and then it goes away. Not bad on its own, but paired with another monster can be brutal. Our second monster is the head. Literally just a floating head, and if it sees me, it's gonna bite me. Now, normally that would be all I need to deal with, but since this is level 3, there is a third monster added to the list, and its name is Bowtie. It literally just blows you into a wall, you take impact damage, and then it runs away. Regardless, it's not that bad alone, but can be tough to deal with when paired with another monster, especially paired with the head. Mr. Wind Generator over here didn't like me trying to complete this extraction. Every time I tried to walk out, he was walking back in. Out and to the left of the extraction was a bed that I could hide under, which made this a lot less stressful. Here's where the feather drone becomes relevant. Normally this vase needs at least 2 people or somebody with a strength upgrade to carry it effectively. But whenever I slap this feather drone on it, suddenly I can pick it up like it weighs nothing. You could even say it weighs a feather. At this point in the game, there's more scrap that is heavy like this, and without the feather drone, it would make completing these levels much more difficult. Now that that is done, all I need to do is get out of here. The head is blocking my way, and while I could loop around to get back into that hallway, Bowtie is in the way. If I run at the wrong time, he'll blow me over and I'll probably die to the head, so I need to take my time. Also, I don't know why, but he just decided to run away cutely while tossing the head clean out of the way. The head decided to take the direct path that I needed to go down to get to my truck. So I decided to just follow him. The moment he gave me a chance to, I ran to my truck and got the REPO equivalent to a brick to the face. The eye is back, and I can't see where I'm going. I tried to get into the truck, but something was preventing me from doing that. That meant I had to walk backwards into the hallway. Since I ran here, the head heard my footsteps and he's probably in that hallway behind me looking around. Thankfully, during this whole ordeal, he was facing directly away from me and had no clue I was there. Somehow, I made it out with my life. Back in the shop, I decided to buy 2 shockwave mines as well as some health and decided to call it there. If you do like the way this video is going, liking and subscribing on this video will let me know that you want to see it again. If it gets enough love, I will do the same challenge again, but without any items, including the feather drone, and without running. This one immediately starts out rough. Level 4 does not mess around as I'm nearly instantly attacked by a dog. Honestly, I don't know what to call this thing. It just runs at you and pushes you around, and it's mean, and I don't like it, and it's got an ugly face too. It does quite a bit of damage to my goods, and then just skitters off. After trying to get my bearings from that, a Reaper walks in. She is completely deaf and nearsighted, but has swords for arms and will run after you. After hiding from her and finding enough loot to finish off this extraction, I go to find another one. And I'm sure you've seen it by now, but we now have 3 extractions total to deal with, not just 2. Yay. I found out pretty quickly that this map is huge. It is massive and I had to go so far in to find the next extraction point. Thankfully, I do get pretty lucky and there's a couple of these haunted dolls. After you pick them up, they'll start thrashing around and try to move towards you, but if you constantly move them away, they're easy enough to deal with. After getting the second one though, I did get super unlucky with the Reaper. She showed up pretty much out of nowhere and chased me into the extraction room. I hid behind the extraction and was just barely able to get away from her. Found another gramophone, and I swear to God, at this point these things are cursed. The dog came back, and I did the first thing that came to mind. Smacked the dog in the head with it. After hiding from it, it ran away and shut the door on me. Alright, fair. I decided to go back for the gramophone, only for the Reaper to be back, and standing in the same room. I almost came out of hiding right next to her, but thankfully I saw her before I did. The gramophone did its thing again and turned on while I was holding it, which alerted the dog again. It didn't damage anything, but this time it saw me under the table, and I guess it threw a fit because it couldn't get to me. It just kind of bolted around the table while I was under it without hitting me, and then just took off. I hate that thing, and I'm gonna be so glad when this level is over. Everything was going well, and I was able to finish up this extraction and move on to the final one. Honestly, the worst part about this one was that it was downstairs. I immediately put the feather drone back to use, and was able to get most of the required money for this extraction. I did hit it a couple times on the way down, so I would have had more, but it's fine. After getting a little bit more loot, this extraction was finally done, only for the dog to run in, scare me, and then take off again. It didn't break anything, didn't do damage, just came and went. I stupidly decided to run for the exit, only to run out of stamina in front of the Reaper. When trying to get my bearings and run away, the dog showed up once again and knocked me into her. Freaking out and taking damage, I did the only thing I could. Used the last bit of my sprint to get around a door and crouch. The Reaper decided to break that door and then just walked away, like nothing happened. I should have died there, and that should have been the end of this attempt, but somehow it wasn't. At the store, I decided to prepare for the worst and bought a bunch of health kits. I'm going into the final level, and I might as well be prepared for anything. Level 5 started off strong. I was able to get through the first extraction without even seeing a monster. I knew that they were around, but that was only because doors were being opened. I did have a little mishap with a sword, but I didn't break it, so it was alright. I did get a bit unlucky with the second extraction, but that was because it was up a flight of stairs. As long as I'm careful, that doesn't matter too much. Here again, I almost got unreasonably lucky with high value items being not so far away. Putting the feather drone to use once again, and I pretty easily finished off the second extraction. Trying to find the third and final extraction, I do finally come across a monster, and it's just a bunch of skulls. These little guys are called bangers. Basically, they just follow you around, but they do have lit dynamite in their eyes and will eventually blow up. As long as you're careful and run right before they explode, which is indicated by a sound cue, you'll be fine. I thought I was being really smart getting this vase with the feather drone, but then I broke it, so there goes that. Looking around a bit more, I do find our next monster, the gnomes. These little guys just kind of chase after you and will occasionally swing a tiny pickaxe trying to hit you. To deal with them, you literally just pick them up and throw them to break them. I keep seeing these little guys just do their own thing and not bothering me. After that, I had a pretty close call with some bangers, but somehow I jumped at the right time and didn't take any damage. While still trying to get my bearings after that, I found the gnomes having a meeting in one of the rooms. They didn't like my presence, and they tried to attack me. They didn't succeed. In one last final push to get this level over and done with, I used the feather drone on this rune cube so that I could get it to the extraction before finding out what the third monster is. After doing all of that, all I needed to do was get back to the truck and leave. Right as I left that room, I found out what the third monster was. This unit of a being pulls you in before dealing damage, so I need to get away from it. Thankfully, I was able to, before running into a pack of both gnomes and bangers. After dealing with them, Big Boy decided to show back up, so I made a break for the truck and just hoped for the best. After taking off in the truck and making it out alive, that is the end of this challenge. I successfully completed this one, and it only took 6 tries before my winning attempt. If you made it this far into the video, you might as well like and subscribe. Doing so really helps out the channel, and I do plan on posting more often now that I'm out of college. So I would really appreciate it if you gave this video some love and spread the word. YouTube also thinks that you'll like this video, so why not check it out and see if they're correct. I'll see you around.